My name's Honor. If we haven't met yet, welcome. If you're new to this group, in the Facebook group, it's Overwhelmed Solution for Moms. You might be following on my YouTube channel as well. Sorry, the sound is not awesome today, but my mic volume has been too low, so we're just gonna roll with this low tech style. I'm the founder of Awaken Motherhood and of this community, and I'm just so glad to have you here as you are searching in your journey as a mom for ways to feel healthy and vibrant and strong, ways to parent your kid that save you energy, that feel easier, and most importantly, how to have an incredible connection with your kids and to know that you're totally rocking motherhood, that you are setting yourself up, you're setting the relationship up for decades of closeness and trust and teamwork, honestly. So we're talking about a lot of different paradigm shifts here. What we're focusing on lately, and I'll give you a couple of announcements before we dive into today's topic. A couple of announcements. Number one, I had another workshop baby. There's another brand new workshop that I've planned for you guys that we just cranked out the link to yesterday. So it's open for registration, and you can get on the list now. We'll email you the details, but it is called the 4-Day Reset for Parenting Well Through Perimenopause. And the idea here is I'm going to be covering how to go from like feeling tapped out and exhausted to steady and strong in parenting your challenging kid, your emotionally intense kid, your strong-willed child. Okay, so perimenopause can occur anywhere in your 30s to anywhere in your 50s and in between. And I know for me that I had no idea that that's what was happening to me when it started happening to me. So if you're not sure and you're like, oh, perimenopause, like I'm 32, like that's not me. Come just check out the workshop details anyway. If you notice that like my description of who this is for sounds like you, then just come to the workshop because you're going to learn a lot about it and save yourself the trouble of being not clued in to your signs and your symptoms, and it will save you a lot of time to do that. So it's called the 4-Day Reset for moms in perimenopause, taking you from exhaustion to steady and strong. It's a 4-day live session on Zoom. We start May 13th. That's a Tuesday. We go Tuesday through Friday. First announcement. Second announcement, when you register then, we're going to reach out to you and send you a free resource to help you prepare for the workshop, okay? It's a training called 3 Self-Care Rules for Moms in Perimenopause. Got it? Okay. If you don't have that yet and you've registered for the workshop, you can reach out to us and let us know that you need it. But Coach Lainey or I or Kelsey, our wonderful admin queen, will be reaching out to you to get that into your hands. Hello, Virginia. Thanks for being here and commenting. Makes me happy when I'm not alone. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about a really important topic today. Perimenopause with a challenging child. So this new and strange life stage that hits anywhere from 30 to 50, whatever. Talk about a big window, right? When you are parenting a challenging kid very actively still, and you hit this new life stage that often like you won't recognize at first, something needs to change. And I'm going to give you that today. I'm going to tell you what needs to change and what to keep your eyes out for. The one boundary that you need to give yourself in order to really sail through this time, in order to not be knocked down by the sort of brain fog, the forgetfulness, the heaviness, the flatness, the feeling tired. We're going to go into that in a minute, but today I'm going to share with you the one boundary that you're going to need for this life phase, whether you're in it now or whether it's coming down the pike at you. So let's first just describe, so you can recognize if this is you, what is it like when you realize that Something's going on with you and you don't know what it is. What is it like when you enter into this life stage where your hormones start changing and your energy level starts changing, or physically you gain 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 or 20 pounds before you even realize something is not right with me, something is off. So we're going to get into that, but I want to start first with why this stage is so hard for so many moms and so many of you in this group. This stage is so difficult, parenting through this stage, because women, I mean, let's just say what it is. Women are capable to a fault. We are capable to our own detriment. High achieving, multitaskers, CEO, family manager, full-time professional, full-time home keeper, child carer, family planner, logistics manager, CEO, decision maker. That's most women, honestly. If you're sharing the load with your partner, that is exactly how it should be. That is great. That is awesome. And also be honest with yourself about what you're holding that your partner doesn't hold. Generally, it's a whole lot bigger pile because you're also the emotional support for your kids, in addition to being all these other things, right? Say yes if this is resonating for you. Like, say yes, or here. Is this you? Do you feel like this in your family? Generally, also, when you're this type of person, you have very high expectations of yourself, maybe even perfection. Maybe even expecting yourself to never make a mistake or for your child to be perfect. There is a mentality that I call push through. It's the push through mentality that women who are like this are in. So pushing through means like, I'm just going to put my head down. I'm going to press harder. I'm going to pile more on. I'm not going to think about how painful this is for me, or how much everybody else, could just, how much anyone else is like not doing, or the slack they're not picking up. I just got to kind of do and put my head down and push through and kind of get shit done mode. You know what I mean? So, any of this resonating for you guys? So in push through mentality, this is kind of where moms do the first 10 years of motherhood, maybe 15 years of motherhood. First 5 to 10 primarily are where everything is automatic. Everyone's needs are so big and coming in so fast that you're just in, I got this mode and pushing through. And what you're not doing is paying attention to how it's going for you. Am I wrong? Like, most people do not even register how they're doing in comparison to how their kids are doing, how their house is doing, how their family is doing, how their schedule is doing, how their job is doing, how their job is going, their performance. We're focused on performance and productivity. What we're not focused on is how we are doing. The only thing that matters. Because if you're not doing okay, the rest of it's going to come down like a house of cards. And the thing that will be sacrificed is your relationship with your child or your child's mental health. This is true. I'm just saying what's true. These are the real things that we ignore because of the push through mentality, which is so evil. It's so evil, you guys. It's really doing a number on moms. So if you have fallen victim to the push through mentality, then really listen to this. Pushing through meets perimenopause. Pushing through meets your kids turn into teenagers. Either one, they're one and the same. Either one, both. And we have the perfect storm. The perfect storm. When all you know how to do is focus on productivity and kind of perfectionism and grind through and push through from your kind of anxious energy, when that's all you know, and your kids hit the sassy stage. They hit that, like, I need to push off of you to become my own person, no matter what. I don't want your help. I know everything. You don't know anything. That teenage mentality hits. And what happens when you only have one way? This like push, drive, take care of everyone. And suddenly your kids are like, no, I don't want that. You don't know anything. This is the perfect storm. And the reason why it's a perfect storm is because at this stage of life, if you have one mode of doing things and your kid is pushing off of that, in perimenopause, what happens is it's a natural slowing down. So pushing through and slowing down, two completely different things. And when a very wise friend said to me, this is the stage of life where like everything is naturally slowing down, I was like, no, literally was like, no, I'm not slowing down. I'm gearing up. I'm doubling down. This is my double down season. For me, COVID had just hit when I started into perimenopause, and I didn't know what it was, by the way. I had no idea that like what was happening, but I can tell you that like when this hit during COVID for me, and my business was doubling and then tripling overnight, seemingly overnight in the first 3 months of COVID, I thought slowing down meant doing less. And I was looking at my life and going, I can't do less. Now I'm home with kids all the time. My husband is suddenly a homeschool teacher. He got laid off. Now I'm building my empire and like really alone. And I just literally like buckled down and never left my office. 12, 13 hours a day and all week long because, there was nothing else to do anyway. It was COVID. And there were a couple months where it was like that. And then, surprisingly, that didn't go well. That didn't go well for me. So when pushing through is your mentality, and then you hit a life stage where your engine naturally needs to slow down, where all the ignoring yourself really is not an option anymore without big time consequences, that's when we have a problem. So slowing down does not mean doing less, but slowing down means starting to pay attention to yourself and take up a different approach. This was my perfect storm in COVID. So, what happens when we resist the slowing down, when we miss the window of opportunity like I did, to pay more attention and start to take care of our like whole selves in a different way, in a better way? When our bodies are slowing down and kind of the tank that we've been running on is getting really low and starting to run on fumes, we become disconnected. When you're still trying to push through and parent your kids in the same way you always have, and then convince them to keep doing it the same way, but they're changing, and your partner, the marriage is feeling it, and your kids are feeling it, and you're still pushing through, your body's going to feel it too. What happens is we become disconnected when we're not living in tune with with what we need, with the pace we need to be moving at, with what our body needs. We become disconnected. And the word that I feel like really describes this is we get fractured. We become fractured. Our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health kind of just split. They split apart, and they split apart to help us survive. They split apart to keep us going. But then what happens is a part of you emotionally will just tank. You'll become flat, unmotivated. Physically, that part of you will tank. You'll become tired, really tired. Your sleep will suffer. And mentally, you will go into overdrive. You will go so hard into overdrive, overthinking, over problem solving, worrying, perseverating, anxious thoughts, negative thoughts. And all of this, you guys, trickles down to every relationship you have. Your kids are going to feel it. Your marriage is going to feel it. You're going to be less tolerant of whatever your partner has not been doing to pull his weight or her weight, you're just going to be less tolerant of that. You're going to want like nothing to do with that. And you're going to become so angry or confused by your kid's behavior that's challenging, but not have the energy to address it and deal with it. And this is perimenopause. This is what can happen when you're in that old mentality. So when you become fractured in that way, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, the result of that is feeling empty, tired, flat, just disinterested. Like, I don't even feel motivated to have fun. I don't even want to, like, I'm going through the motions. It's a going through the motions of life phase, going through the motions of parenting. There's not that heart-based like connection, joy, fulfillment. There's really just kind of a loss of enjoyment. So I want to know if you have felt any of these things. Anybody, if you're listening now, or those of you, when you watch the replay, I want you to weigh in here. Any of these things that have happened for you at any point, drop them in the comments now. I want to know. When your kid is then being hard, when your teen is pushing off and, doesn't want anything to do with you, or is showing you that they need something different, basically. They're having a meltdown. All of the emotions that you have been ignoring, all of your emotional needs that have not gotten met, because push-through mentality has no room for that. We have to keep going. We can't notice how we feel. We can't slow down. We don't know how to process that. We don't have time for that. We just need to keep going into the next thing on our list, and our kids need us. And there's just no time to look at me, and I don't want to look at me anyway, and that's cheesy, and it feels ooey, and I don't like it, right? Feelings are ew. I don't have feelings. I'm not a very emotional person. I used to tell myself, I'm not an emotional person. But what I didn't realize was I had that in the vault so tight. I had that stuff on lockdown because that was some scary stuff, and I did not know what to do with it. And I didn't want to be in those feelings. Yuck. I didn't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. So what I did instead was I split off, and I developed some physical pain, some chronic pain. I had very low energy, chronic headaches, other things, because I didn't know how to deal with the emotions. And so there are simple shifts, you guys. There are simple shifts that you can make to change your approach of how you manage yourself and how you protect your energy and how you approach motherhood. There are some strategic shifts that I teach my clients that I will be teaching in this next workshop. The 4-day reset for moms in perimenopause. If you're not in perimenopause, but you do struggle with a kiddo in parenting, and this describes you in any way, come, you're welcome. All are welcome. All are welcome. Here are a few of the highlights of what we're going to be covering, okay? In the 4-day reset. So I'm just going to give you a couple of them. The first one, on day 1, we're going to cover the truth about why you are feeling tired and snappy, tired and irritable. It's not just the hormones. It's not just the hormones. It is usually everything that you've been carrying. So the reason why we get so burdened down and bogged down, and then perimenopause hits and it's like, I can't keep going on like this. So much of the reason why things get so heavy and exhausting is we weren't set up for this level of stress. Our nervous systems are not designed to carry as much as we're designing. And when perimenopause hits and your body's like, okay, it's time to slow down. It's time to be gentle with ourselves. It's time to take it easy. Our life is not set up for that way. You're carrying too much. You're carrying too much. You got to redesign that. So I'm going to be teaching you what I mean by that. I'm going to be teaching you how to revamp the way your nervous system works so that you can go from pushing through and pretending that you're okay to actually being okay. Okay, I'm going to show you how we do that. And then also I'm going to teach you about the mind-body connection, how the mind-body connection is impacting your reactions to your kids in parenting, your reactions to life. okay? So that you don't feel like a victim to life happening to me. My kid is so hard. My partner does not see me. I don't want you to feel like a victim to any of that. This is going to be a really empowering workshop. So we're gonna help you pull your head out of the sand on how some of these things work so that you can make some better choices. Okay, that's the first day. And then on a different session, I'm just going to give you a glance at day 3. On session 3, May 15th, we're going to be talking about boundaries, burnout, and emotional whiplash. The boundary that you need in order to navigate this life stage is one that you probably didn't enter into it with. So we're talking about how to move out of this mentality of it's them or me. I can only take care of them. I can't take care of me. It's me or them, one or the other, right? That scarcity mentality. Have to choose. I'm always going to choose them. Let's be realistic, right? That's what people kind of live in those first 5 years of motherhood, sometimes way longer, 5, 10, 20 years. We're going to break down the invisible rules that you've been living by and how they have been draining you, how they've been working against you. And then we're going to talk about how to recognize and reset these patterns of overgiving. Overgiving is not serving you anymore. It's not. It's totally toxic. It doesn't help your family and it doesn't help you. These are some of the invisible rules that we've lived by that say things like, you have to do it this way or they won't be okay. And it's a whole bunch of BS, and I'll tell you all the reasons why, but we're going to get into that in the workshop. Why it is not selfish to protect your energy, but it is strategic. You got to learn this. This is like lesson 1 in Awaken Motherhood. I teach my clients this in the first training they get in week 1, how to protect your energy. It's news to everyone. Everyone who comes to the program is like, I feel like I should know this. Like I've kind of heard some of this before, but when you find out why you're not protecting your energy and how we're kind of designed in our family of origin, it all starts to make sense. So I'm going to give you a little window into that on day 3. We are going to be covering a lot in those 4 days. And so I really want you to warm up to it and prepare. And the best way to do that is to get the free resource that is called 3 Rules of Self-Care for Moms in this life stage, Moms in Perimenopause. And we will get that to you. And it's not coming out automatically in the confirmation process because I didn't include it that way. So we need to get it to you and into your hands directly, which means when you watch this, you need to register step 1. Step 2, book your free parenting strategy call if you haven't just had one with me. And that's step 2, and the button's on the page once you register. And step 3 is to get your freebie. Download your freebie, the free talk, 3 rules for self-care in this life stage. Because I'm gonna start to kind of massage some of this content and warm you up to it, and you can start to turn it over in your mind, play with it, test it, apply it, and come really warmed up and ready for this workshop so that we can just hit the ground running. I want everybody to have a big shift in this next workshop. It's May, kids are out for summer. I know it's busy and there's end of school year stuff. There is no better time than to begin to open your mind to what it means to really approach motherhood with your own needs in mind before summer hits. This is the time. You need to do it. So if you're struggling in any way, parenting a tough kid, running on low patience, feeling irritable, feeling low energy, sleep is getting crappy, any of these things happening for you, this is the thing you need to do. More than the zoning out, the Netflixing, the escape routes that you've been taking. More than the pushing through, this is the thing you need to do. And I also ask that you share this with your friends, with your community, with your friend lists. You can share the link, and I'll drop the link under the video here. But all you need to do is send the link to your friend list in Facebook group or post it on your page. Share from my business page. My business page is Honor Janetsky, Awaken Motherhood. I really appreciate that. This is all organic reach, this one. So I'm really leaning on you guys who are recipients of this free content all the time. If you've ever learned anything here, I'm going to ask you to share this one. And I really, really do appreciate you helping me to get this into the hands of moms who are, who don't know these things, who are looking for help, who are really needing the support and the help, needing a hand. Let's get this to them. So please do share with your friends. I'll drop the links for the 4-day reset. And then once you register, then we will reach out to you to give you a freebie. And if we miss you and we don't, or you don't get that, you can always hit reply to any email that you get from me or my team and let us know I need a freebie and we'll get it in your hands. Okay, you guys, we kick off May 13th. Let me know if you are in, when you are in, say below. And I cannot wait to see you guys there.